Taking a look at the energy markets today, I want to focus on WTI. WTI down about 1% on the day. We did see quite a range today, a low of 58.81, a high of 60.22. Inventories came out today. EIA number was highlighted and a build of 2.8 million barrels. The market reacted to that. That's when we saw WTI hit the lows of the day after this release. The expectations were for further draws. The market had realized some draws the last couple of weeks. And inside that number, I think it's interesting, Reuters pointed out that 500,000 barrel decrease in exportation is one number that was highlighted, and also 400,000 barrel decrease in refinery runs. So you're seeing production in the United States topping out here and exportations being limited somewhat. And that leads to the next story I want to point out today that Bloomberg sent out this morning, and that's really talking about the contaminants within the oil being exported from the United States, particularly to the Pacific Rim, South Korea being the primary beneficiary of this. And they've been rejecting some of the recent shipments, primarily due to some of the contaminants in the oil. They're finding it making it very difficult to refine this oil. You look at metals that are being collected, also some chemical compounds or oxygenants are getting into this oil, and it's really due to the processing and shipping of the oil from the United States, the shipping of shale, basically running it through the pipelines. It picks up some contaminants there. Then they move it onto smaller ships to get it out to the large sea-bearing ships and moving it over to Asia. And all of this is leading to some contaminants getting in the oil, and then some of these shipments being rejected. And that's a dynamic that the market's going to have to account for as well. And the third thing I want to point out is the global slowing. I think is also pushing oil a little bit lower today. We're seeing a reaction in the equity markets. The bond market continues to react as well, as we see yields going to year-and-a-half lows, and with that we're seeing equity markets under some pressure. And I think that's putting a pressure on the commodity space and putting some downside pressure on WTI as well, as we continue to see some of the dynamics in the global environment roll out, Brexit being highlighted right now, and also some of the slowing that the market's realizing not only in Europe but also in Asia leading into today's activity.